Hey, what's up, Yins? This week on CarDadBill, we have a 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum 4-wheel drive. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's full of hockey equipment. Let's go for a ride. So first impressions of the Pathfinder are that it has a really nice kind of futuristic look. All the new Nissan vehicles on the platform now have the same look, kind of futuristic, kind of rugged, strong looking, solid lines, carved corners, things like that. So it all looks good, and I'm really happy that it kind of got away from the minivan looking Pathfinders of the past. So first impression is the exterior looks great. The motor is decent. I'm not going to get any more than that right off the bat. And the interior is super comfortable and quiet. Well, let's get this review going. All right, so let's walk around the outside. We have beautiful reverse reflector LED headlights up front, fog lights down below, and like I said before, you have that front and the back lines here, like the bulky lines, and then you have the back roof kind of blending in over here. Excellent looking exterior, definitely stronger, more rugged than the previous models. Love the lights, how they wrap around the back. Love the thin LEDs right here that go both sides. And look how the tailgate kind of has like a bump to it in the back. I like that. There's no bumper either, like nothing, no one has bumpers anymore. And then the Pathfinder logo is down there as well as on the back, right there. Really sweet looking. I like the color too. And it's just an overall nice looking exterior for a vehicle that has a reputation of being very all-wheel drive, off-road capable. Really can't complain. Let's take a look. All right, guys, let's take a look at the interior of the Pathfinder. Let's start by starting up the interior here, starting up the car. See a little gauge action going on there, which is really cool. And let's just take a look here. So the first thing I noticed, and I don't know if you guys can notice this, is just how upright everything is here. It's very straight up and down, almost Jeep-esque, like a truck. And then of course that. So we'll go over that in a second. But first things first, it is a very comfortable driving box. It is a very comfortable driving position. I love how the vents are placed on both sides, but you do have a heated steering wheel. And then just the different materials. Overall, it's a very nice looking interior. I don't want to take away from the fact that it's just different, but and we have a touchscreen in the middle of the dashboard as well. HVAC controls down below. Dedicated buttons down here as well for your camera, for your map, for your menu, for your audio. When you plug the phone in, it automatically goes to CarPlay up on the screen. Up top here are also some buttons for your moonroof and your lighting. Down over here, cubby hole right here where you can stick pencils and pens and whatever else. Bose sound system, and look at the materials, how they're stacked, you know, all the way down with the little brushed. Same thing over here. Not a bad interior. Digital gauges, so none of that are regular gauges. They're all digital. It's a screen, and you can toggle between that stuff with this button here. And as you get to something, like let's say let's go to the tire pressure, and you can scroll with the other button to show you the other information, and select it by pushing down on that. Cruise control and your around sense, your Nissan safety equipment there. Heads-up display is right there. If you can see it on the video, I don't know. There is no, they don't change the mirror in this one. There's no camera back there for that one. Down below here, they do have two USBs though. They have the A and the B. So you can use either one, and then the charging mat for your phone. And now this. So this shifter is okay. You slide it backwards to put it in a drive, or this way, slide it backwards. Forwards puts it in reverse, gives you the around view monitor, gives you the parking sensors over here. Put it in a drive, and then you can park. The button right there. So the screen went blank, huh? Check that out. Live video, the screen goes out. So I'll take a look at that and edit that. This are all of your different drive settings for the Pathfinder. So you have sand, and you have mud, and you have snow, and you have regular and eco and sport and trailer towing. And then this is your hill descent control. Now you have the parking brake, you have the auto hold, and you have your automatic start stop. I always turn that off. It tells you up there that you did, tells you that you turn it on or off. Let's try this again now. Reverse. Cameras aren't coming on. Park. And it looks like the screen comes back. So it looks like the cameras aren't working in this at this point. I'm gonna turn the car off and turn it back on and see what happens. All right guys, back, real quick update. Put the car in reverse. Screen goes blank as if the camera's gonna come up, and nothing happens. So sometimes there's glitches like that in vehicles. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with this Pathfinder. It just means that sometimes there's bugs in new vehicles, and that's one of them. Down here, I also wanted to show you that there's the controls for the back seats and your heated steering wheels up here. So when you control that stuff back there. Little stuffed animal that my son left for the video. Let's take a look at the back. All right guys, so the interior of the back seat, you have a button here that folds this back down, and then this does the same thing, but you also have the bar up front that slides this seat forward and backward. You have a nice center console in here, the captain's chairs, and you have your charging ports down here and your HVAC controls there. So overall, not a bad sized interior for kids or adults. Coming around back, it's hockey season, and there's two huge hockey bags that fit in this back area. So it's full stuff. I left it in here so that you could see just how much I could get in there. I did move that seat forward a little bit for my daughter, and this one got moved back by my son, but my hockey stick is in here, their hockey sticks are in here, their equipment's in here, everything fits, not too bad. All right, Yins, so with the passenger we got back there taking a look at our video, let's go over the quick numbers on the 22 Pathfinder. 3.5 liter, 24 valve, 6-cylinder, 284 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Notice it's not a CVT transmission, it's not a variable transmission, it's not anything besides a 9-speed automatic with intelligent 4x4, all four-wheel drive, manual mode, paddle shifters, all that good stuff. You don't need paddle shifters in a Nissan Pathfinder. Just my opinion. When you have the driving modes that I showed you earlier, so the driving modes switch the four-wheel drive system and the reaction of the transmission to the type of road that you're driving on. Real quick on that transmission and on that engine, powerful engine, no problem with that whatsoever. Transmission works very well. It's just average. It's not anything that you would think, but I'm glad that they stuck with the 9-speed automatic and didn't try to get a variable one like they did last time. 20-inch wheels around the sides, around the edges. You have all of your safety and security options that you would have with a Nissan, especially in the Platinum model. Your intelligent around view monitor, your automatic braking, with pedestrian detection, your blind spot warning, your cross traffic, all that stuff. 10-way power driver seat, 2-way power lumbar support, Apple CarPlay, the huge digital screen, the Bose sound system. There's so many options on this that I can't really name them all. LED lights all the way around. The MSRP is $48.90. Adding a couple of those things like the running boards, the carpeted floor mats, the captain's chairs, and the lighting package brings the total to $51,395. So $50,000 gets you a platinum Pathfinder four-wheel drive. I don't think that's horrific whatsoever. I think that's actually really good. And just for giggles, the color of the Pathfinder, they call it solid gray. So that's what the Pathfinder's color is called. If you're wondering, they average 22 miles per gallon. I am averaging 17 miles per gallon. So depending on the driving you do, which I've done a decent amount of highway driving with this vehicle this week, let's go for a ride and talk about the ride. All right, guys, so the pros and cons for the Pathfinder. I actually took the Pathfinder out to a road I haven't driven on in a very long time, a little bit out of the way from my house, but there's two things about this Pathfinder that stick out to me that I want to kind of talk about as far as the ride and the overall quality of the vehicle. Number one is the styling. All these new vehicles have great styling. They've all taken a step forward with their styling, and I'm talking about every manufacturer that we do for 22 going forward. Even in 21 last year, the last few years have been the redesign for a lot of different manufacturers, and Nissan included. The Pathfinder is back to its original roots. It's a rugged looking, comfortable SUV for your family. And it doesn't shy away from that. That's what it is. This new one absolutely defines that. Now, that's number one, the styling. Defined styling. You know it's a Pathfinder when you see it. When you drive past people and they notice that it's a Nissan, they know right away it's a Pathfinder, even though it's brand new. So that's good. You know, model recognition is awesome. So then the second thing on the Pathfinder that stood out to me was just that it works well and it's good across the board. Nothing stands out about the sound system, the information center, the gauge cluster, the dashboard, the rear seating, the trunk. It's exactly how I would want it laid out. It's exactly how I would think it should be laid out. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be a wow factor. I think it doesn't always have to be a wow factor. People want the Pathfinder because they want the Pathfinder. They know it's a Pathfinder. They know what they're getting, and they're getting better than they got before. I have to say, the Pathfinder for the previous model years was one of the worst looking vehicles, in my opinion. It looked like a minivan. It was bloated. It just didn't have any kind of like Pathfinder's, style to it. Now it has a rugged appearance. It's sculpted. It's got great options inside. It drives really well, and that's brings me to my next point, how it drives. It drives super smooth. The steering is very direct, very connected. The traction control works well. You get a little bit of chatter here and there. I had some snow, luckily enough, to drive this in. And, the four-wheel drive is fine. A lot of feedback from the car while you're driving. But absolutely handles the roads really well. All right, guys, so the moral of the story is the Pathfinder is a great family SUV with some off-road capability. It's been refined to be a very good family vehicle / vacation vehicle / whatever you want it to be. When people buy four-wheel drive vehicles for different reasons, and this one's no different, and it's definitely back to its roots, especially with the motor size and the transmission pick selection for them. I really think it's back to its roots as a solid contender in the SUV field. I give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, send me some comments. We have some new stuff coming up as well, and we're just going to keep it going. Real cars, real people for real life. It's CarDadBill signing off this week. Thanks, guys.